Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Simply Cyber Live, the Thursday podcast where we bring on industry guests from the cybersecurity industry to share their expertise, their experience, their lessons learned, their best practices, all with you. And it's an absolute delight. I'm so happy that you're here today. We have an absolute rock star in the industry. Not only is he leading the charge on multiple well-known vulnerabilities and the research into them, but John Hammond, our guest today, is just an absolute treasure of a human, a delightful person, very knowledgeable, YouTube content creator, speaker, keynote speaker, I might add, and just really willing to give himself to the community, even to the point where whether he, I guess, approves it or not, has photos of him surfacing on the internet of sightings of John. So it's always really great to have a conversation with John, and I hope you're going to enjoy today. Just a quick show note, feel free to engage. I've got a couple things that I want to bring to the conversation with John, but we do love our chat. So if you have any questions for John, please drop them in chat. If you could, it's going to be really busy today, as I would assume, with many people really interested to hear what John has to say. So please, if you can preface them with a Q, mods, if you can, I'll have Discord chat up. If you could bring those questions to me, I would certainly appreciate it. All right, guys, stay tuned. You're in for an absolute delight. Let me go get John. We're going to have fun. What's up, John? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Gerald? I'm doing well.
Good, good. Hopefully that was an apt description of you, sir.
Well, hey, that was a super warm welcome, and thank you, thank you. I'm very flattered and happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did mention in the intro there that you speak multiple places. People have seen you all over the place. Just really quick touch. So I was at Wild West Hack and Fest in the audience when you gave your keynote speech. What was that like? Many of us have given talks at conferences and stuff, but keynote is like another level. What was the experience like? And were you intimidated? Did you have butterflies, or were you like, whatever, mic drop?
Oh goodness, and thank you. Hey, putting me right in the lines then as we get started. So Wild West Hacking Fest was phenomenal and an absolute treat, and just really. Just, I don't know. I was so grateful and so over the moon when John Strand and Velda and a lot of the folks from Wild West Hacking Fest kind of approached and asked, "Hey, would you be willing to keynote?" And I had some time ago had this thought and this idea. Hey, I want to have this talk. I want to have this presentation titled "I'm a security charlatan and so are you." And I didn't know where I was going to go with it. I didn't know what the talk track would really be. I just wanted that sharp, kind of edgy, really weird hook. And I thought if I ever gave that as a talk, it would have to be a keynote. Like I would want it to have something with a certain amount of punch to it. So when Wild West Hacking Fest came along, I was like, that's it. That's where it's going to happen. But yeah, I was very, very nervous because I'm like, I don't really know where I'm going to go with this concept. And it was, I don't know, I hope it was a success. But I'm glad we got some other great chatter and conversation started because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so, like, John, one thing you may not know about my channel and my streams, my live streams specifically, my audio gets jacked up from time to time. So Chad is telling me to pump my microphone. So I'm pushing all the dials on my mixer up. So my audio feedback is also blowing my own eardrum out.
Oh goodness, I'm
But
sorry.
no, that's all right. But hopefully, I do it for the people, John. So hopefully my audio is solid now. Let me know in chat. No, I was there. Kimberly, who just said great talk at Wild West Hack and Fest, was sitting next to me. Pretty wild. I will tell you, I was watching you talk and I was thinking, man, if I get to keynote, like that's it. It's intimidating, and I'd love your thoughts on this, John. Like when I think of speaking, like I do live streams every single day, and I don't get butterflies in my tummy anymore. In fact, I just go live like 30 seconds. Like I sit down 30 seconds later, I hit go live. But with keynoting, I not that I have imposter syndrome, but I think like, what can I possibly tell this audience of my peers that would add value to them that they don't already know? Like, am I wasting their time? Did you encounter any of those kind of reservations?
Yes, 1,000%. Because the interesting spot, I think, with the keynote and with that one was like, look, this has already been an incredible conference, a great show with tons of technical talks, folks chatting about 0 days, vulnerabilities, new elite findings in offensive security or digital forensics and blue teaming and defense and detection engineering. And I'm like, what? I am not worthy. I don't feel like I belong here, especially for okay, the finale in a weird way. So I wanted to try and wrap up the conference, and I wanted to sort of uh, with the talk title and with that talk track, I thought, I want to fall on my sword. I want
Mhm.
to talk about the imposter syndrome. I want to talk about the burnout. I want to acknowledge the things that we just kind of get wrong in the industry, but then hopefully motivate folks and say, look, these are all the problems that we know are out there, but take everything that you've learned here, take this fellowship, take this camaraderie, take this family that we've built in the community for this event, and let's go try to solve these problems, knowing that we're going to make mistakes, knowing that we're going to get something wrong, knowing that imposter syndrome and burnout is going to eat at us all along the way. Um, I hope that resonated, but that was the whole gist of like, look, I'm okay to fall on my sword. I'm a security charlatan. I don't always know what I'm talking about. And maybe you don't either sometimes. No one's an expert in cybersecurity, but we're all learning this thing together.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too because unless you know, then you make assumptions that like, oh, this person knows everything. Again, like me, like I'm saying like, what could I possibly tell these people that they don't already know? But the reality is, and I'm very, very happy about this. People like yourself, John, people like John Strand have made the ecosystem of the cybersecurity industry, like the people, they've made it for lack of a better term, a safe space, right? Like you can ask questions, you can learn, you can make mistakes, and you're not, it's the days of toxicity are like mainstream
Fading.
toxicity are behind us, right?
Oh yeah.
And I love it, and I think that it's partially because cyber is more mainstream, and also because there's a lot of educational platforms that are, I guess democratizing the ability to get access to that knowledge instead of having to go through a human gatekeeper who's like elite and going to either decide you can have it or not decide if you can have it. So sorry, thank you, John, for that. Now, as far as you talked about burnout in your keynote speech, one of the things that people see you do, yes, you make content all the time, and you have a full-time job, and you are educating and speaking all the time, right? But like as far as managing all that, you obviously went after the move at vulnerability. It's been really well publicized. Huntress, the company you work for, had been contracted in some capacity, and we don't have to get into the details to do that work, so that makes sense. But you as a practitioner, John, the videos you make, like what is motivating you, or what's your driver when you're deciding like, oh, I'm gonna dig into Felina, I'm gonna dig into, Gobrat or whatever. Like what's going on with you?
Oh man, super good question. And there's a whole lot to dig into and directions to run on in there. So I don't know where to start. If there's any other one, hey, you want to point me towards, say the word. But I I feel like I've said sometimes that I try to have this cannonball mentality. Like I want to dive into something, I want to embrace it, I want to just plunge into the depths and absorb as much as I can. And that is what is going to lead to the burnouts. And
Mhm.
I am totally acknowledging that. I think I say, hey, I eat burnout for breakfast. uh, it's a balance. It's never finding the balance and leaning into some things, and fall through the cracks. And I try to catch up with the ebb and flow, but it's really the passion. I don't know. I just feel like this is so fun and so fulfilling. And when I can see something that I know will affect so many folks, like a Move It, or
Mhm.
like, hey, putting on a Capture the Flag event to train thousands of folks, or getting a YouTube video out that can shine the spotlight on something really cool and new and novel. Uh, I really, really find a surreal fulfillment in that because, hey, let's spread the word. Let's get the wealth of information out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see a really fun question in chat. And keep chat. You guys are amazing. So keep the questions coming. But haircut fish, just to kind of have a fun question thrown at you. What's your favorite Walking John meme? That's a really good question, and I got to tell you, it's very, very cool.
So, for context on folks that might not be familiar, again, at one of the RSA conferences, there was a picture of me that I think was taken like from a building while I was outside walking across the street on the sidewalk. And it looked like a kind of a zoomed in picture, like from their cell phone. They're just trying to enhance to see, John, is that you? And that was the tweet. Like that was the picture and the caption. John, is this you? As I'm walking down the street. That was hysterical and hilarious and a little bit odd and strange and weird. But I like, look, you have to lean into it. Like you have to embrace and just have fun with that meme that it's now become. So there have been some really good ones that the Haircut Fish and plenty of other community members have created off that, where I'm just now put in different positions, walking or doing something completely normal and human. One I think that you put together, Haircut Fish, was the Beatles like album cover where there's like 5 duplicates of me just walking across the sidewalk, and I love that one.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Yeah, and we saw TCM at Wild West Hackenfest again had a goat shirt with just John's head on it, like the kind you see on game day, on Saturday morning game day with the big head. So yeah, I appreciate, John, that you're a good sport in the industry and allowing people to, I guess, appropriate your image, for lack of a better term.
Well, it's very flattering, but hysterical.
It really is. And also, I wanted to say, like, Haircut Fish had another good one. I don't know if you like see a lot of his stuff, but do you know that it's like a Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette, kind of like broken down in the back, outside.
Oh yeah.
He had one of John Strand, and I think John, it was at like, B-Sides Charm or something, like one of those conferences, and he was just like on day 3 of the conference, and he was kind of, and it's just like John smoking a cigarette.
Just exhausted. No, I know it.
It's so good. It's so good. So, all right. So, continuing on our conversation, John. Well, you talked about finding your passion and, the YouTube channel and content creation. I personally find that thankfully, I don't work for someone who tells me to make YouTube content. I just make what I want. So I'm able to really lean into those passions. I guess what's your muse like when you're making YouTube content? Is it like something that's current? Is it something that you wanted to explore? Like I know you just recently learned Rust. Like what's your motivation?
Truthfully, it is kind of whatever I find interesting or fun or I'm really interested in. I want to put out a video that I would want to watch. And I just want to, I don't know, see and learn more about and use that as a springboard to go find new education and resources. Um, there's a balancing act with that. I've tried to lean in a little bit more on, hey, you know what? Let's build this thing as a business. Let's make sure this can be a healthy and moving machine. So we've taken in, hey, we got to do some sponsorships, right? It's necessary to kind of keep the fulfillment and movement growing,
Hmm.
and that helps direct. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should do something on password security, or what if we dug into a little bit more cloud, or even just secure coding and analysis, and of course, hey, some malware in the mix. Um, Thankfully, all of those have been really, really still tied to what I want to do and what I'm interested in. So it's a balancing act and blend of those, I think. But I try to keep steering the ship when it's just stuff that I'm interested in and I think is fun.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I'm sure you get tons of solicitations for sponsoring or integrating things that have that are not aligned to what John Hammond's into. So yeah, so I appreciate that you pick and choose and deliberate. I personally feel like I'm a gatekeeper to the Simply Cyber community.
For
So
sure.
if it's not something that I would want, myself, or a close friend to be exposed to, then I kind of manage that. As far as content creation, so John, one thing that we didn't talk about before is I'm working on like essentially a YouTube, like how to YouTube class, like the working
Nice.
title. Okay, yeah, thank you. So the working title, John, which by the way, it'll be quite obvious why this is a working title. The working title is how to launch a YouTube channel or how to launch a cybersecurity YouTube channel in order to progress your professional networking and development. Right? It doesn't really roll
Awesome.
off the tongue, right? Like the website's still available,
Yeah,
right?
what is the
Obviously,
acronym for that? Yeah, like
yeah, maybe we have to do a backronym on that one.
yeah.
But anyways, it's the last 3 years of what I've done with Simply Cyber compressed down into like an 8 or 10 hour class. But the reason I'm motivated to make it, yeah, you get some ad dollars and some sponsorships and stuff like that. But I personally my last two jobs I did not apply to. Like
Yeah.
literally, they came to me and they said, Jerry, like, what will it take for you to come work here? And I'm like, do you want to see my resume? And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, we know exactly what you do and who you are. What will it take for you to quit your job and come here? And that power is, you can't purchase it, you can't do anything, but YouTube as a platform can give that to you. So I'm motivated to make the course that way. Having prefaced all that, John, how has having a YouTube channel impacted you professionally?
Yes, is the short answer. Like, undoubtedly, and this is again maybe a recommendation I would give to anyone if they are up for it and can stomach it and want to like create content and just do that, like share and put stuff out there because it will open so many doors for you or new endless opportunities. And it's incredible. It's a little bit mind blowing and sometimes really scary and overwhelming, but you're exactly right. And I think exactly with your experience there is you have folks that are wanting to spend more time with you and can you come work with us, can we do something together, even if hey there isn't some immediate inbound task or opportunity. When you get into the job interview or chatting with employees or you are trying to showcase your resume, if it comes to that, like look at this library and archive and catalog of things that you've made, content that you've put out there, education that you've shared, write-ups and practice and blog posts and videos. And it just demonstrates your merit in a super unprovable, like undeniable way. Because like, look at this. Hey, I've a bedrock of content that just shows my competency, that shows my passion, that shows my drives. And it's something that I want to keep adding, keep doing. And I know that will pay in dividends if we get together for a career or a new vocation or some passion there. So, sorry, long-winded answer, but yes,
No, no, no.
please make
It's
content.
yeah. It's why I asked, and it's why I mean again, like it's why I'm motivated and really driven to make this course because for me, I do cybersecurity education, but like for me, I want people to be I want to lower the barrier so people can have access to take advantage of these things. And like to me, I spent the last 30 years and proved it. Like I know it can do it. And I saw it really quick. I saw Mark Louderback in chat say, "I hate to get over my hatred of cameras." I'd point out, Mark, that there are successful Hackersploit. Alexi, now he goes on camera occasionally, but he has a fairly successful, I mean, fairly, 750,000 subs is
Yeah.
beyond fairly, but he has a massively popular YouTube channel and it's pretty much faceless, right? So you can do camera off quite easily. What I would advise you, Mark and John, I don't know if you've encountered any of these videos. These videos drive me bananas, where it's like for example, like, oh, here's an exploit of the new Move It vulnerability, and you go to the video and it's just like techno music on volume 99,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then they open a notepad and they type like you know what I mean, like those videos. Oh,
Oh yeah, absolutely. That, I think very old, maybe the olden days of YouTube. But yeah, whatever dream sound space, like weird techno trance. I think having something that just shows a real person be able to walk through something and do some show and tell and demos, like that is, I think, really folks are attracted to that, and it's a great way to learn together.
absolutely. And in today's basically cloud-based services, guys, I don't know, John, I don't know what your workflows are, but like you don't need expensive equipment or expensive software to get started. Like you can use like this right here, where I'm live streaming right now on a $12 a month platform, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
talking to John Hammond on a $12 a month platform. So it's not about like Hollywood movie sets and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just have found a lot of satisfaction and a lot of pleasure in content creation. Did when you started, John? I guess what drove you to start? Like why were you like, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel now. Let's do this.
Oh, so I learned a whole lot of my chops, I suppose, in coding or programming or whatever nerd tech cyber stuff on YouTube. I would look up over Google and try to find tutorials or blogs or articles. And I thought, like, okay, that's how I'm learning. And just watching a YouTube tutorial. what if there's one way for me to like test myself? And they say, hey, the best way to know that you've mastered something or you are a little bit more competent is that you can teach it to others. So sort of a weird like, hey, I want to test myself on this, and I do want to give back to the community, and I do want to even just document what I'm learning. Like it can be a little vlog in a weird way. I just put out videos and put out videos and put out videos. And there wasn't a whole lot of momentum in the early days, and I think that's understandable and okay, and that's the norm. Um, but if you look back in the archives, you can find stuff on my channel from like 2011, 2009.
Oh wow.
Uh, it didn't really grow and start to come to fruition until about 2018. But hey, you get that growth, and it starts to blossom and flower. But the thing is, yeah, in those early days, uh, it's just about having fun and doing something that you're excited about. You don't need to be chasing, oh, the ad revenue or sponsorship or becoming an influencer, crap like that. It's just, uh, I never expected it to turn out to be what it turned out to be. And now it's just another component of my life.
Yeah, and one that has value from like a professional networking, professional development. It's funny you say that because like a lot of similarities about what you just said resonated where you said I didn't start out for it to become this. Like I don't know about you, John, but like Gerald Ozier's personal account is what the Simply Cyber YouTube channel is built out of, right? Like
Right.
I didn't create a Simply Cyber channel and like, ooh, I'm gonna do a business in a YouTube. Like I'm just like, oh look, here's YouTube from the drop down. Let's do that. Like let's start publishing videos and content like that. So yes. KevTech IT support says I don't know if you know Kevin, John, but
Yes. Yeah. We spent some time together.
oh yeah, Kevin's awesome. So Kev says making videos is fun and doesn't like clickbait videos. I agree 100%. I don't. You don't make clickbait videos, right, John?
So I realized this is a new little balancing act, and I'll be the first to admit, yeah, there's a little bit of a change in my thumbnails or content titles, yada yada yada, and it's interesting because I think again in the early days, like, hey, let's make videos that are what they are, and that again was decade ago on YouTube, and that was just what it was. Uh, I'm understanding and acknowledge okay, YouTube in today's day and age is very, very algorithm driven, which
Yeah.
is frustrating. And I know it's not very true and core to the hacker cybersecurity ethos. But if you want to kind of keep growing the channel, well, you have to kind of play the game a little bit. And the thing is, like, hey, no one's going to watch, or at least not many people are going to watch a video titled unhooking EDR DLL bypass hooks with Win32 API function calls and NT API.
No.
So how do I distill that into not strictly, oh, the uber elite technical material, but like something that can be approachable to more and more people to get more people into cybersecurity? Balancing act.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And to me, like, I guess I've reconciled it. Like, if you're delivering on the promise, like,
Right.
if your title says like you're never gonna believe this, and I watch the video, I'm like, damn it, dude, I would never have believed that. Then you're good, right?
Yeah.
Then you're good. 100% agree with you. But with yeah, the I in my YouTube course research, like I got some stats, right? 500 hours of YouTube content is uploaded every minute to YouTube. Like 1.2 billion hours are watched a month or a year or something. So it's a sea of content, right? And if
Yeah.
you're really trying to connect with people and help them, you have to help yourself get the content in front of them. So I don't. Yeah, I think you're good. I think
Well,
you're good,
thank you.
John. Yeah, not that you were asking for my affirmation. A couple questions are coming up here yeah, that I want to throw at you here. Gary Sturgiadis, a regular member. What's up, Gary? Good to see you. What do you want to be when you grow up, John? There's a question you probably don't get often.
Oh, I don't know if this is going to be a good answer or a bad answer.
Okay.
What do I want to be when I grow up? I want to retire. I want to spend time with my girlfriend, my dogs. I want to make the whole family. Spend some time with the kids when they come to life here. I want to take it easy and kick back and I don't know, just be very proud and happy of looking back on everything that I've already done. I don't know if that answers your question. I'd still like to be hey, the security researcher, or hey, the education light source that has helped get things out in the ecosystem. But I just want to be happy and content with that, and then uh, I don't know, see it all come to life and fruition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on that one. And Kimberly, she identifies with that. Leonardo wants you to go full time on YouTube. Uh, but here,
Soon.
let me ask you this though, because like, at least in the American society, like,
Mm,
the dream is always like work your butt off and then retire the last 20% of your life, and then,
right.
and you just said like you want to grow up and relax. I mean, do you really think that you would be content not? And I don't mean working
That's
like
the
for someone
kicker.
else. Just like,
Yeah.
would you really be content with your feet in the sand and a beer in your hand, watching the waves, and just that 24/7?
No, you're exactly right, and I think that is the kicker. Is that like, man, I'm gonna get bored. I'm gonna want to do more. I'm gonna want to keep at it, and I know that's just gonna happen naturally. Um, but having a little bit more maybe fluidity and flexibility to that, I really appreciate someone saying, "Hey, what about full time YouTube?" Uh, that's an option and like a real thing that I do want to consider. I'm still working with my day job, and I love that I can still be a practitioner and like he really be in the trenches and on the front lines for actionable cybersecurity. Maybe not just hey some of the stuff that we throw up for academia's sake or for
Hmm.
learning on YouTube. There's a real balancing act in that just as well. But you're absolutely right in that hey, the same ambition and dedication is going to probably eat at us, and we're not going to want to just sit idly by, rest on our laurels. uh, yeah, I'll probably keep kicking until I croak.
Yeah. Well, and I think if I may kind of paraphrase what you said, because again, I feel there's a lot of parallels between you and I, John. Um, it's to be it's to be I to be financially independent in the sense that you can pursue whatever work you want to pursue
Yeah,
when you want to pursue it. Is that
that's
is
right.
that is that a fair thing? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I want to quit my job, but like, dude, I would love. So here's something. I don't know if you do any of TCM's courses or not, but like, or at least you own a bunch and haven't started them, right? Like everybody else.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, but what I would love to do, like, he has a practical API hacking course right now. It's in my inbox or whatever, and I would love to just like take a week off and do that course, but also like not live stream the content, but be like, okay, everybody, like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Let's meet. We're all going to do this, to this point in the lecture series today, like 1-1-1 to 1-5, and we'll meet back at noon, and then like do a debrief, and then do that for 5 days and crush through the course. Like to me, that would be a buttload of
Super
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So one day, John, you and I, we'll have to pursue that together. We'll be in like a I don't know, some type of mastermind group of people who are uh, pursuing their hobbies,
Can
continuing to go. Go
can
ahead.
we no, I'd love to ask, can we dance with that one for a little bit? Because I would love your
Sure.
opinion, and I'd also love the chat's opinion. Because I
Okay.
am wanting to do more live streaming, right? Because it's just the best way to do it. No editing. Hey, real genuine engagement with the audience,
Yeah.
community feeling, just more mass content. But I've also thought like, okay, I gotta rack and stack time, and I gotta learn something new because I do feel like, man, I'm growing stagnant, just trying to chase deadlines and other obligations.
Hmm.
Man, I'm not growing at the same rate I want to. So if I do live stream, and as you mentioned, look, what if we all just did some live learning where we're cutting up a course or we're digging into something that is available? I've always had some weird ethical stumbling block on that because it's someone's course. Like, okay, we bought something that has a price tag to it. Can I
Yeah.
live stream that? Part of me starting to think like, well, I know that's not like spoken against some creed, but people do that with video games or like reading a book, like audio readings, or I don't know, just narration
Yeah.
of
So I guess I've thought about this obviously,
yeah,
because so the way I would reconcile it is, at least my initial thought is like, I'm not going to stream the actual content. I'm going to set a goal for the day and then do the content offline, which means you have to have licensure of the content to do it. Another way that I could see doing it. See, the thing is, if I gotta like, let's just use TCM again as
right.
the example, right? Like I say, Heath, listen, I'm going to do a class with 100 students, and I'm going to stream the API course, but I'm also going to give context and stuff like that. Can I get some type of like enterprise license? Like it's 30 bucks a rip.
Mm,
Let me give you $2,000, right? So I get a little bit of a discount. That covers 100 students, and I'm going to charge. Well, I'll give you $3,000, and I'll charge the students 30 bucks. You know, okay, like just as it's a pass through, right? So I charge everybody $30 to take it, and you charge me $30. That's one way to do it. But then you're not really live streaming. At that point,
yeah.
you're running a webinar, which I mean, I've done webinars and I've done live streams, John, and like webinars are they feel kind of asynchronous and not the same vibe as a
Yeah.
live stream. A live stream is very organic, very electric. So I feel like you'd either have to, here's one way to do it, right? You could ask for permission from the content creator and
Right.
agree to pull it down after the stream is over so it's not searchable. Also, I could see an instance where you take the course and you interpret it, right? So instead of like, because we see this with like people, this is like kind of a tidbits Tuesday. Every Tuesday on my morning briefing, I share some like insider thing about me that no one knows. Probably it's like the worst OPSEC ever. But like one of like the niche YouTube channels that I do and watch for entertainment is like people who like break down advanced comic book storylines,
Nice.
and then like it'll be like the entire Flashpoint series or the entire like you know like Thanos Infinity Saga, but it'll be like a 30-minute video, and they actually have panels from the comic books, and they just cut the words out. So I could see
Mm.
reinterpreting lectures. But yeah, what's chat saying? It's kind of, I'm talking and not doing chat at the same time. So has anyone got any idea here? Chris Weaver saying live streams better for interactive learning, but not good for a profit model. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Casually Joseph says you're basically becoming a teacher for a course that's not yours.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's an opportunity where you partner with the actual course creator, so then
Yeah.
you have less of a licensure issue.
I think that might be again the better way to go about it. Hey, ask for permission or just see, look, are you cool with this? But for other things, like, hey, I want to look through a book and I have an ebook. Like, hey, I have the PDF and I want to cut through Rust for malware development or NIM in action. Like, is
Mhm.
that kosher? Like, can I have the PDF on the screen here and there every now and again? Like, it's a weird thing in my mind. So
Well, I mean, if you think about the way music is, I mean, you can't play music without I mean, I don't know how many copyright strikes you get. I get them every day. But
really,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I don't get YouTube violation strikes. I get copyright strikes.
mm,
Big difference. Yeah.
yep,
So so I'm getting told there's about 8 unasked questions coming in, so people are getting into that. Any like while I go through this, John, any final thoughts about because you wanted to pull the thread on this one on how you might approach teaching or more about live streaming?
no, nothing really. I think we got a good gist from the chat, and maybe it's a fun thing to I don't know still have folks thinking on. Um, what is but the best approach is really hey, just ask.
Yeah, Leonardo says he misses your 2 a.m. streams. John,
Yeah.
was there John after hours going on at some point?
So there very much used to be, hey, let me go ahead once the household falls asleep. Let's jump on Twitch. Let's do a try hack me room. Let's try some hack the box. And those were grungy because again, it's like 2 in the morning. I've got whatever night lights around me, and I'm falling asleep, fading out. So again, I don't know if I'll ever get back to that or like where can I carve out in the calendar. I don't know. Do I take a lunch break and I live stream? Do I try to fit it in after work before the household is back in action? It's balancing life and love, here.
Hmm. Yeah, it really is. You know, I know people understand that while you're on air, you're committing time, but like there's other things like getting ready for the show and promoting the
Yeah.
show and reaching out to the guests or getting your lab ready, right? Like or your VM or whatever it is. It can be really time consuming. So I definitely feel you there. Um,
Can I spin on that for a
yeah,
quick
yeah,
moment?
sure.
I love this, and I've had conversations about this even when I went to visit Mr. Beast's headquarters, which was a very cool, phenomenal, fun story.
What?
But when we have an individual, and again, purest of intent, good heart, absolutely understand the meaning when someone says, "Hey, I have a video idea. You can do this for a video." And I'm like, "That's awesome, cool, good idea." But you have to keep in mind that means preparing it, building out the lab, as you mentioned, doing the actual recording, and then, okay, actually creating the thumbnail, and then editing the video, and then staging it, and then getting the socials promoted. There's this whole life cycle
Yeah.
that one idea might not mean what's the thumbnail going to look like? What's the title going to be? How are you going to edit this thing? So, sorry, I don't want to go on a rabbit hole.
No. I appreciate it. I do try to capture suggestions that people make because they're clearly
Yeah,
people who want it. But yeah,
for sure.
100%. Some ideas I see and I'm like, I'll message them and say, "Hey, that's a great idea." But in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. Like I can't. That's like a 14-hour project you just asked for. Um, so we do have a question here that I think is really good. Cassandra over on LinkedIn wants to know when your next live speaking engagement is. She needs some John.
I am going to be helping out with the API days, their interface conference. I have a quick session there chatting a little bit about more Move It, the Move It transfer exploitation, and how the threat actors kind of abused the API during that attack chain. Of course, we'll still be having some YouTube videos pumping out. I'll be at Black Hat, I'll be at DEF CON, so we can hang out for Hacker Summer Camp. I'll be around the best I can be. You
Oh
know where to
yeah.
find me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So I'll be at Black Hats. Many of people in chat will be in Black Hat. Are you going under Huntress's banner?
Um, yes and no. Huntress
Okay,
has a booth, but I am a free agent.
okay. So you'll probably go to some key meetings that Huntress asks you to go to, but you're roaming. You've got a hall pass essentially.
Yes, yeah. There was really fun, and it's again interesting balance because when we went to RSA 2 years ago, Huntress did not have a presence, and they went to RSA this year, and they did have a presence. So I'll go talk to reporters and meet up with journalists and do whatever press media stuff, shake hands and kiss babies and all, and maybe spend a little bit of time at the booth. But I can mosey around and go do the other things that I'm more interested in, or I don't have to strictly be uh, salesperson. You know what I mean?
Booth man. Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
strap you to a dolly and wheel you around in front of perspectives.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'll be out there. I'm going to try to do some live streaming. I don't know if this will come to fruition, but I've actually been asked by one business that will remain unnamed. They want to pay me, which is cool,
Nice.
um, to do the threat briefing from their booth on the
Oh, that's
Black Hat floor.
awesome. Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So stay tuned for that. It would be one of those booths where they have like the room on top of the booth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
we'll
super
see
cool.
how that goes. Dude, okay, so this has nothing to do with cyber or Move It or John or anything. Bro, you can't just be like, I was at Mr. Beast's headquarters. Like, no, like, dude, that's not like you went to the store and got an ice cream cone. Like, what are you talking about? What's this story?
So these are again those really cool, crazy, and surreal opportunities that just come up when you try to keep getting yourself out there with content or one way or the other. I know a whole lot of folks might be familiar with Network Chuck, another
Yep.
content creator, really more in the networking and kind of hey some more of the digital technology aspect, leaning a little bit more into the cybersecurity, ethical hacking fun. But him and I again are I think good buds. Hey, folks that can hang out. And he had said, "Look, hey." I've got an opportunity to go chat with some of the Mr. Beast crew to think about what they might be doing for their network. And I was thinking, John, you would be an incredible representative from the cybersecurity perspective. Would you be willing to just kind of go be the subject matter expert if we go down on this trip over to go see what they're up to? And that was phenomenal and mind
I
blowing and a life.
literally, so you don't know this, John, but I have a soundboard and I don't use it very often with Simply Cyber Live, but there is an app that is the most appropriate sound effect for this story. So please go. Like so Network Chuck's like you want to roll to like Network Chuck is that's amazing too, but like
Yeah.
you want to roll to Mr. Beast, like no big deal.
So that was phenomenal. We spent a couple of days there. I think Network Chuck did get a chance to go jump back to them, and I think he has a video coming out soon where he worked with Jeff Geerling, one of the other Raspberry Pi content creators,
Yep.
because they did get to help out with the like ages 1 to 100 versus video, where they all put together these Raspberry Pis for lights and all. And I was heartbroken because I was going to Spain to go give a talk at RootedCon in Madrid, so I had to miss that, which I don't know if I'll ever live to regret or not. I'm not sure. But an incredible opportunity and a once in a lifetime experience, one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty nice consolation prize though. Like
Yeah,
Spain, like
yeah. Still got to enjoy RootedCon in Spain.
that's awesome. So, well, congratulations. That's very, very cool. Um, yeah, no, it is cool. I'm trying to look through chat here. This I love this question. I saw this come a while ago and I flagged it, dude. Is there something that you've been wanting to get into that like you literally just haven't had the time for, and it's like it's constantly like, oh, if I just had time, if I just had like, what's on your like private like would love to knock out list?
Oh, this is falling off of a cliff because this list is infinite. Chris Sanders, I think, puts a whole lot of great courses and material out on a lot more of the detection engineering and blue team and defense that I really, really want to cut up and get into between Sigma and Yara and some of those other more great defensive works. But the other side of me is like, well, wait a second. Hey, the other folks like the new Maldev Academy that Mr. Docs and other security researchers putting out is all about, hey, cutting up and creating your own implants and beacons and some of the offensive security. Like, whoa, that'd be super fun to play with in NIM, right? Like, oh, I want to play with that language or do that in Rust, or I want to learn a little bit more about that. But wait a second, hey, Bleeping Computer and all these news articles are talking about new CVEs and new vulnerabilities and exploits that are just popping up left and right. Oh, I want to dig into those. I have ADHD,
Yeah.
and I'm sure maybe that's a familiar feeling for a lot of folks listening in. We are in such a wild and wide industry, and there's so much cool stuff to dig into and learn. It's a little analysis paralysis.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and it's funny you say that too because it's another one of those things. Like again, a lot of people in the community are breaking in or trying to figure it out, and they don't have the perspective to know that the industry is a mile wide. And you know, you and I are senior practitioners, and we don't know a mile wide of knowledge. Like, but a lot of people assume like, oh crap, I got to know all these things, and it's a blessing and a curse, right? That the
Yeah.
industry is so big, so you never get bored or you never run out of stuff to learn. But at the same time, it's exhausting. And I tell people all the time, John. I don't know if you agree with this. I'd be interested if you don't. Um, I think cybersecurity is like a lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
it consumes you, and you need to like you're constantly thinking about it. It's not 9 to 5, um, and you know for some people that's a deal breaker, right? Which
Yeah.
is fine because I like to get that up out front. Like yeah, it's a great industry, it pays well, good community, lots of learning opportunities. But like as hard as you're working your butt off right now, excuse me, as
You
hard as you're
saved it.
working, yeah, as hard as you're working your butt off right now to get in the industry, once you get the job, it's not like you've reached the top of the mountain. Like you're just prepared yourself for like what it's like to be in the industry. Um, which is great because I love it, and it sounds like you love it too. But do you have any thoughts about that? I'm just kind of curious.
Yes, and because again, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but I think the way you said it as a lifestyle is the right way to say it. A little bit maybe a fluff and cozy with the word lifestyle. I always tend to say like, "Hey, man, cybersecurity has a certain pulse and heartbeat to it, and you have to stay with it." Uh, but I know it's so overwhelming because I think you put a beautiful pithy term on an idea that you encapsulated so well. Is like, look, cybersecurity is a yard sale.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much overwhelming information, and it's a fire sale of like, hey, this thing, next thing, now another thing. Um, but that's the heartbeat, that's the pulse. So it is constant to keep with it, but it's so much fun at the same time.
Oh, I love it. And we got I'm going to pull up Maldev Academy in a second, but we got a
Heck yeah.
super chat coming in here, coming from the top rope. James McQuiggan, my man. Cybersecurity is a passion, it's a lifestyle, it's a vocation. Always thinking risk reduction, no matter what you do. Yeah, absolutely. And
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
yep. So there's my there's my super chat sounder. Thanks, James, for that. Let me pull up this really quick. And so this is Maldev Academy. Now I normally would have just kept on going and been like, oh, John mentioned Maldev Academy, but you just said that Mr. Docs is involved with this. Whenever I see something from him, and I don't know if it's a him or a her, frankly, it's always like the best security research.
Gold. Yeah, yeah. So
So so
wildly
so did
approachable.
Mr. Docs do this, or how they involved? Do you know?
Yes. So Mr. Docs and another individual, and I always get their handle wrong, so forgive me. I think it's 0x null con something, and I'm so sorry I'm getting it wrong. But they have put together this Maldiv Academy course that is text based. So there's not a handful of videos. It is, hey, here's some code, here's some explanations. You get to dig into this at your own pace, but it's not death by PowerPoint or
Mhm.
some long droning video. It is honestly really really cool just because they showcase some fascinating stuff. And as you mentioned, Mr. Docs, mr.d0x, has always been chasing really incredible stuff. He has a ton of resources like the Living Off the Trusted Sites webpage, the File API.io, the Mal API.io, and he's always digging into new lol bins or living off the land binaries. He has incredible stuff, even with the .zip domains that popped some time ago. He said, you know what? Hey, let's try to fake like a file browser to look like a real genuine application, but it's a fake .zip domain. He has so much cool stuff and huge respect for their great work.
Yeah, I love Mr. Doc. It's so funny. Like occasionally on the morning threat briefings, it'll be like a story, and it's like Mr. Doc's revealed, and I'm like, guys, like if you don't know this guy, you've got to know this guy. Like it's almost like, and I appreciate this. It's almost like he's not pushing out stuff every single day to stay top of the feed.
Yeah.
It's just like he's doing what he does, and then boom, he pops it. Jess Bishop saying here, just remember you're never too old to get into cybersecurity, so it's worth it. 100%. Let me give. Hold on, where is it, Jess? The super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you so much, Jess, for the super chat. I love Jess Bishop. Saw her get into the industry. SOC analyst now, doing the overnight shift. Did you ever have to work overnight shifts, John, when you were coming up?
Truthfully, no. Um, when my upbringing was with a whole lot of the Coast Guard and the Coast Guard Academy, there's a watchstander role that does have some night watch positions on duty, but I never had to subject myself to any of those. I did go on a whole lot of travel for teaching, and maybe that counts if I don't know, different time zone.
Did you ever have
But
to work an incident, like over, like over the weekend or holiday or something?
yeah, so I mean, the big ones that we were chasing, whether it's again Move It or Felina or Print Nightmare or the Kaseya VSA ransomware incident or Log4j or whatever the sky is falling thing,
Yeah.
those we tend to chase. The Kaseya VSA one, which I realized was some time ago, but that was probably the biggest. Like, oh my goodness, we're gonna kill the weekend. The 4th of July vacation is dead. We're staying up all hours of the night to keep in the front lines here.
Yeah, well, so there you go. So you did have some of that. I will tell you, someone had mentioned in chat earlier about your Coast Guard experience, and I didn't,
Hmm.
like, I didn't know if that was true or not, so I didn't bring it up. But now that you just mentioned it, I will tell you, okay. And this is probably might get me canceled, frankly, but I will tell you that I have spent time on a boat. When I went to Antarctica. I had to
Nice.
be on a boat for like 2 weeks to go through the Drake Passage and everything like that. And I lived on the boat with real sailors that are basically borderline modern day pirates,
Yeah.
and they are a different brand of people. And dude, I would never have thought you were a former coastie. Like, were you on the boat living on? Were you like the guy driving the boat or the guy in the engine room? Because it seems like those are the two classes.
So I would have been on the bridge driving the boat, but hey,
Okay.
there's a whole nother story with that one. I had attended the Coast Guard Academy for my undergrad in education. That's one of those 4-year institutions, a lot like West Point or Annapolis Naval Academy or West Point U.S. military institutions, all on the condition that hey, this is a free education, but you spend 5 years obligated service as an officer. Uh, Now, the fun fact that is still a sin thing here: I did not graduate. I got on the naughty list. I got to be a bad kid. And a week before graduation, hey, didn't walk across the stage to get the commission or the degree. So I have the 4 years of education, but didn't dive into a career as an officer in the Coast Guard. For a whole lot of training, though, I did spend some time on the cutters doing a drug busts and malware off of the Bahamas coast and spent some time with a tall ship. So I have some underway time, but have not been an ensign or JG or lieutenant for all those that are smart in that world.
Okay. Okay. So I know that you all just heard what John said, but what I just heard John say was that he hacked a free education without having to make the commitment.
You
That's what
are
it
right
sounded
about
like.
that. You are right about that.
Nick Barker wants to know about Coast Guard Academy. Is it as difficult to get into as reported?
So the military institutions typically require a congressional nomination. So, hey, your senator or your Congress representative will say, I dub John or Gerald is worthy to go into the Naval Academy or the Air Force Academy or West Point.
Hmm.
Coast Guard Academy is the only one where that is not necessary. You don't need a congressional nomination. However, I had 2 nominations to the Naval Academy and one to the Air Force Academy. They both said no, but Coast Guard said yes.
Okay.
Um, Coast Guard is the smallest. The other academies are about 4,000 students total. The Coast Guard Academy is about 1,000 students total, maybe fluctuating up and down or beneath that. So there were about 200 folks in my class while I was there.
I like it. So A. Johns with the super chat.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Thanks so much. John was the first creator that led John to me, or A. Johns to
Wow.
me. So yeah, hit that like button. 2 gems in the industry. Thanks so much, A. Johns and John Hammond. Thanks for creating content that suggested me at the
Excellent.
end of the video. I appreciate that. So really quick, someone brought this up, and you don't have to you don't even have to speak to this. Where is it? So this is partially in jest and partially. So casually, Joseph says you got on the naughty list, right? And then he makes the joke about leaking classified docs on Discord, much like that goober Air Force National Guard guy did. So
Oof.
can you just confirm or deny whether or not you also leaked classified information on Discord?
I can confirm that I did not leak classified information on Discord. So I can deny that allegation, I suppose.
All right, very good. All right, so you heard it here first. It's breaking news here. Now, John, I don't know how much time you have to read, but books are a really good thing. I do squeeze a book in now and again, especially when you're traveling and, it's just easier to pull a book out. You got any book recommendations? You read anything lately?
Truth be told, I just ordered Nim in Action because I'm still obsessed with the Nim language. And my bookshelf is off to the side, so it's not visible, but way too many that I haven't been able to dive into. Are you looking for more like, hey, technical explanations, or are you looking for like, hey, the sandworm story or
Yeah,
Rich
I
Dad
mean,
Poor Dad, or tons of great stuff, but different directions?
yeah, I mean, probably both are interesting. Not that anyone asked me, but just a book that I'm reading right now. Obviously, I have to assume that you've read or you're aware of "This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends" by Nicole Pelroth.
Yeah, that's a great one from what I hear.
It's so good. It's so good. But I'm currently reading a book called, I think it's called "Fool Me Once," and like I am fascinated, John, fascinated, like an almost unhealthy obsession with fraud. And the book is called "Fool Me Once," and it's basically written by this woman who's she's an investigator, or she's a forensic accountant. She teaches at like Columbia. She's faculty at Columbia, and she's interviewed a bunch of people who have been victims of fraud, or she's gone to jails and interviewed fraud perpetrators, and she's broken them down into this like taxonomy, because not everybody that commits fraud is like malicious, right? Some people are going to straight up try to rob you, like these NFT crypto bros, and some of them are like, oh, you got 2 Amazon packages mailed to you by accident, it's the same product, like, and you
Right.
keep both, like that's fraud. So anyways, it's a fascinating book, but yeah, my favorite book, yeah, Kelly Pope, Jim Lund's got it in chat. My favorite book of all time, John, is literally a academic textbook. It's called Principles of Fraud Accounting, and it's really a page turner, which I know is absurd because it is a textbook, but it's wicked good. It's wicked good. You have to check that out. I'll send you a
Will
copy,
do.
John.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, Cuckoo's Egg. That's another good one. You ever read Cuckoo's Egg? That's a fun read.
I know of it, but I have not read it, I'll admit.
Okay, you'd enjoy it. It's like 70s UCal Berkeley.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like literally the birth of SecOps, if you want to call it that.
Wow.
All right, here's a question. I didn't even pre-read it. Working on transition in the industry, interested in going to a convention? Well, this is a good question, Sean. Thanks. Would you recommend DEF CON or something smaller like Wild West Hackin' Fest? That's a really great question. Yeah.
I would love to hear your take on this one too, Gerald. But I think that a lot of local cybersecurity events like a B-Sides or a Wild West Hacking Fest, maybe that's not strictly local, but a great community of smaller, intimate, more close-knit space can be really, really, really helpful for kind of, hey, getting your foot in the door and growing and learning and having great relationships and having fun, as you mentioned. I will note the larger conferences like a DEF CON, like a Black Hat, like a RSA, whatever. Uh, it is overwhelming. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's great to have so many things always going on everywhere all the time. But if you aren't working with maybe a buddy, or you're not going with other friends, or you don't have a group that with you, if you're there as a sole person, it is overwhelming and a
Yeah.
little intimidating. So I don't know. You'll find a balance in between the two of those, but I just recommend go to anything that sounds fun and interesting, and you can make it to.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. John did ask me for my thoughts on this, chat, so please don't think. Sometimes chat's like, let the guest speak, Jerry.
No.
So I would agree with what John said 100%. What I would say is if you are going to go to a if you're going to go to any conference and you're not going with a group already, I would strongly encourage you reach out in advance to something, right? Like say you're into car hacking, say you're into pen testing, whatever. Reach out to Car Hacking Village, reach out to Red Team Village and just say, hey, like I'd love to help out. Can I help out? Can I, set up stuff? Can I do whatever? So you begin to network a little bit and establish some type of like crew that you can roll with while you're there, or at least get introduced to people, because it is brutally intimidating when there's thousands and thousands of people. But I would say the same even for the smaller ones. Still want to volunteer and stuff. It's a little bit easier to network and engage at the smaller conferences because you can walk up to a table and have a conversation, and it's not this like drone of thousands of people talking in the background. But I would just say get involved in something, whether you're doing a CTF, whether you're doing volunteer work, whatever. Even at Wild West Hacking Fest, there was like a chessboard, which has nothing to do with security. There was like a chessboard and activities going on, and I sat down and I met 3 or 4 people just playing chess with them. So, and then I had beers with them later on at the bar, right? So you can do that and get value from that. John, I know we're coming up on time. Can we take a couple more questions?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. I'm all yours, my friend.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Plus, that's a really unfair question to ask you in front of 100 people. No, I'm busy. So I'm looking. Okay, so one person submitted an answer for the YouTube class name. I like this, pulling on the classic buffer overflow or stack overflow working paper title or white paper title, excuse me. Oh, actually, John, do you ever say welcome to Jurassic Park to people just for the fun of it?
I have not yet, but I probably would if someone asked me to.
All right. Well, maybe I'll get you a recording. We'll put you on the soundboard.
Thank you.
John.
Yeah.
James McQuagan wants to know if you do play chess. James and I play chess quite frequently.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thanks for the super chat.
I have not played in some time, but I do really, really like it and would love to get back into it.
There you go, James McQuagan. Well, sign up for chess.com. That seems to be like the end-all, be-all official platform for the chess world. I've been brought in, I guess.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, to some degree, James McQuagan, he basically just slaps me around a little bit. Have you seen this trend, John? Okay, so like let's just like we've completely de-anchored from the pier, and now we're just spiraling off into the.
That's all right. That's the whole point.
Have you seen this trend of people? They'll put water in their mouth. So like you and I are going to do it, okay? So we both put water in our mouth. Then we take turns. I will take a tortilla shell, okay, and I will slap you with it. Not with my hand, but like the shell part.
The shell,
right? Like,
yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have seen that. Yes.
Okay. Are you into this? Like, have you done this?
I have not. No. I wouldn't probably voluntarily do that unless it were again for a gag or a bit, or people wanted to.
When I heard about it, I was like, do what now? That sounds
weird.
Like, how did someone even come up with this? Then I watched it. It's incredibly funny. It's incredibly funny. And no one gets hurt. Which is the best part.
Yeah.
So freaking hilarious, Adrian says, and which I think it really pairs well. It's even funnier because I don't know if you've seen this, and like we're going to talk about something else after this because I don't want to end the stream on a dark, macabre note. But have you seen this like rise in action with like professional slapping? Right? Have you seen this?
Yes. Yes.
And I think it's like the UFC. There's two factions. Like one is like legit and trying to just do slapping, and the other one is like trying to be like barbaric. And I think it's the UFC one. But like basically, when you slap someone, if you hit them with just the fingers, you don't really cause head injury. If you hit them with this part, you're basically punching them, right?
Basically.
And like so there's like this slapping thing. It's a big deal. And anyways, like so when you slap someone with a tortilla shell, it just seems so absurd and so silly. I love it. I don't even know why we started talking about that.
I guess
honestly.
we'll have to try this, but yeah, that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's because James McQuiggan slaps me around in chess. That's right.
Fair enough.
So okay, so more of a specific technical question. Any recommendations on practical skills and CTI?
CTI specifically is. I really struggle with these questions, and I know that I get asked of them all the time because I realize my path might be different from many others, and I don't have a one size fits all answer. But this sounds like the stupidest thing, and I don't know if I'm a broken record. But seriously, I really love Capture the Flag because I think it gets you thinking about different technologies, different stacks, different security mechanisms, vulnerabilities, exploits, secure coding, etc. I just recommend Capture the Flag, and I scream and shout from the rooftops about it because it's a way to play and it's a way to learn and have fun with it. Cyber threat intelligence is a little bit more interesting because you can start to tie, the code style that you see or the tradecraft or the techniques of one threat actor, like to a MITRE attack framework, or like to what folks are now discussing as Volt Typhoon or Fin 11 or TA 505 or ransomware group XYZ APT 123.
Mm-hmm.
That is when you kind of get to play a little bit of Scrabble, maybe, or putting the puzzle pieces together. So again, I still think on the keyboard, tactically Capture the Flag will get you in a lot of like, hey, let's see that source code, let's see their techniques, what they do for their tradecraft. But then you can kind of zoom out and get a little bit higher level with CTI to hey, who is that? How can we attribute that to one threat actor group that we're tracking?
So Chris Weaver says, that's all great and good, John, but I'll just read your report on it. Thanks. Take the shortcut.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Hold on. That I accidentally clicked that. So let me ask you this. Like, what do you do to like relax? Like, I know we said cyber is a lifestyle and stuff, but I mean, what do you do to chill?
I go downstairs and sit on the couch and watch a little bit of TV, play some video games. I do.
What do you play? What do you play? Xbox,
So
PlayStation? What are you playing?
my, so my main is Ganondorf in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and I will lean a little bit more of the Nintendo side if I get to do some of the Nintendo Switch. Um, but I have, truthfully, guilty pleasure, been playing a whole lot of Call of Duty Warzone on my computer and PC. So those are the hey, let me block the world out and forget my obligations and procrastinate. Some Call of Duty.
So interesting. So Call of Duty Warzone. Now I don't play Call of Duty Warzone simply because, John, I'm sick of like 12-year-olds like teabagging me because I like come around the corner, they kill me, they teabag me. I come around the corner, they kill me, they teabag me. I'm like, enough, I'm done. So I'll play Fortnite with my kids and stuff. But how do you feel? Like hacking is pervasive in Call of Duty Warzone. So how are you not losing your mind, or are you one of the hackers?
I just accept losing my mind.
Okay.
I'll get angry and rage quit when, man, we just lost all of our guns again. Oh, hang, they totally took out that player card. We have to start all from over. I don't know. Those are at least in a shorter bursts of entertainment because something like a long form Skyrim or the new Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, like because they're so open world and it's a giant adventure and I know I could sink like 50 hours into it, my brain can't handle it. So a 30-minute Call of Duty match, totally cool with that. 5-minute Super Smash Brothers game, perfect. And whether or not I win or lose or rage quit or get angry, at least it's a smaller thing than selling my life and time away to a big open world game like
Who, who,
Fallout. I don't know.
who do you play with on Smash Brothers?
Ganondorf is definitely my main.
Okay,
I will troll around with Toon Link, a little bit of Yoshi. Uh,
you dabble with Yoshi.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're kind of running out of time here, John. I know you're, dude. Guys, you think that I'm busy? John's schedule is ridiculous. Like I feel like we were trying for a while to get this on the books. So I genuinely appreciate you coming, John, and speaking with us today, and just having a chill conversation is a lot of fun. For those whose questions we didn't get to, I apologize. I know there was a lot. It was a lot of great questions, a lot of fun conversation. It's nice, honestly, John. It's nice to talk about like slapping in the face with tacos and video games for a minute. You know what I mean? Usually these
Oh yeah.
calls are all business, so it's cool to get to know you a little bit better. And
Yeah, I think we got a good blend of both. Hey, some tactical cybersecurity tech and stuff, but also just a little bit of nerd out and enjoy the simple stuff. It's all good.
yeah, nerd out is the best way to put it. So John, I always like to give the opportunity to my guests to, like where can people? I know that you're easy to find, but like where can people connect with you, or what kind of upcoming projects do you have? Like, final thoughts for people for next steps with you.
Yeah, YouTube is the main stage, truthfully. Hey, just my name, John Hammond. You'll see my stupid redhead ugly mug. And of course, Twitter, LinkedIn. I try to be as everywhere as I can be. I again will be at DEF CON Black Hat Hacker Summer Camp. Would love to spend some time with you all there. Please, please, please say hello. But content-wise, we're getting into some other new fun stuff. Playing with Velociraptor a little bit more, getting to touch with the creator of Velociraptor. I'm very stoked to release that video. And then a little bit of the Maldev Academy. I do want to try to pour in some work and time with that, and I will take the high road working with Nim, but Nim Lang for probably some hour development, and we'll just keep cruising, just keep churning out content and trying to stay with it, be on that pulse and that heartbeat.
That's awesome. So I've dropped John's YouTube link in chat. Again, you can Google the tricky thing. Like I want you to unseat John Hammond of Jurassic Park. Like when people Google John Hammond, I want you to come up, John.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever make it. I don't think I'll be able to beat him or the musician, the John Hammond musician. You just got to add the word cyber, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Why should I change my name? He's the one who sucks, right?
No.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, thank you all so very much. Special thanks to John Hammond for just a really enjoyable conversation and a fun Thursday afternoon. Go check out his YouTube page. He makes incredible content. I think it's John Hammond LLC or something like that has like kind of everything compressed. So that's him. He's very identifiable. Ask Haircut Fish for his picture if you need it. But that's going to do it for this episode of Simply Cyber Live, guys. I hope you got value out of this. If you did, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell me, and we'll get it sorted out. All the best, everybody. All your questions and all your engagement today is greatly appreciated. Be sure, well, I'm going to play the outro anyway, so it'll tell you about all the extra things. But thanks so very much, and until next time, stay secure. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.